Well, let's take apart Don't You Know. It starts off with a lot of things that you already know. The alternating bass on the A minor chord, and then the chord is going to go between this, just lifting one finger off and putting it back down. So it starts 5 and then pluck the little chord together with a 4th string, lift it off, and that comes in between the bass notes. Together, now in between, then together again. That happens twice. Now we go to an E chord. So we pluck that together. It's only one finger, just the index together. Middle ring. So there we've got our arpeggio. So it's together on the first and the third of those. And the middle one on that second string is in between the bass notes. So we got together, in between, together, index finger, and back to A minor. In real life, you can play with that a little bit. You can play with the syncopation. So sometimes you can bring that in ahead of the beat, or you can put it on the beat. So that's something that you can really improvise with, where you place those melody notes, if you syncopate them, if you put them on the beat. And then together, the melody note is now on the third string, together with the bass. So that little introduction, it happens in the middle of the tune, also right at the beginning. You can give it a little wiggle if you want to, or just play it straight. And that happens in the middle of the tune as well as at the top. And that brings you back into the repeat. So it's just the same as you did before. So you got bass, pluck, up, and then down. And your E, arpeggiated, index finger, A minor. Now it goes to a G, and pluck the third string with the index finger. And you're starting. Now a little 2-note bass run walks up the 5th string, which brings you to a C chord. All right, let's do that whole first section, and then we'll go into the second section, starting with the C. So here on A minor, bass notes. A little riff on the bass. And then same thing again. E chord, arpeggiated. A minor. A little riff of the bass. A minor, lift up. E chord. A minor. G. Walk up to C. Double alternating bass there, so we're going back and forth between C and G. So that is just an arpeggio, again with the index middle ring. C, then together. Those other notes are in between the bass notes, so you start together, and then in between E7th, and we grab that E chord and just with a pinky there to grab the melody note, 2nd string, together with the bass note. And here we can go back and forth. If we make the full chord, go back and forth between 5, 4, 6, 4. And on that, it's almost the same, but you lift the pinky off and then put it back down. So you've got 2nd string played twice. Then A minor. So there, you've got your melody. Ba-da-da. Part of the melody is actually picked up by the thumb and its regular route there, going ba-da-da. So you're hearing 3 melody notes, but one of them is actually the thumb, just where it usually goes, right there on the 4th string. And then the index, middle. And then the C7th is played just like that. The pinkie gets the melody note. And I just set up the whole C7th chord because you're going to need that melody note a little later. So you've got C7th. And here, if you want to, instead of just going back and forth with these two, you can alternate that bass back and forth, just like we did on a regular C. And those notes are already set up for you. You just play the 2nd string and the 3rd string in between the bass notes. And that gives you the melody. Da da, which is going to go to bum on the F chord, which is right there on the 3rd string. You can finger the entire F chord, the full barred F. And everything is right there for you. You can even go back and forth 6, 4, 5, 4 on that 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string, back to the 3rd string. And C, you're going to do something similar with that, just on a C chord, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Now take that C, slide it up 2 frets, make the 7th chord, so it's really C 7th, slid up 2 frets. And here, you can stay right on the 5th string, or you can do the same thing we did with the C 7th chord, rock that bass back and forth. And then, that's only one measure there. And the melody is just 2nd string, 1st string. And that 1st string's ringing open, so it automatically gives you that nice melody. So Chet uses that chord a lot, that's D 7th chord, that gives you that nice little back and forth melody. And then slide down, your index finger is just going to slide down 2 frets. It's still going to be in the same spot on the 2nd string. And then these go back into that D 7th chord that we know and love from the other tunes. And then lift that finger off and put it back down. And then we've got the G 7th. And here, instead of grabbing it like this way that I've done, I just scoot the 2nd finger up 1 fret. And that gives us all the notes we're going to need there. So we've got the 7th, grab that A. So it starts off open and then comes down. And then we've got that nice melody note there on the 1st string. Okay, that's a little trickier than some of the other spots, that little move. Let's do that whole thing. We got the D 7th, and it's going to go down to here and then slide up. All right, just looking at the left hand, right? Slide, and then going to go up 1 fret. This move is going to move over to that. All right, so let's do that together with the bass notes, starting on that D 7th. Then slide down, 3rd string, lift up and down, and then G 7th, slide up. A little slower motion on that little, like, pluck together the 2 middle strings, and then the 2nd string, or 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Okay, and then that brings us back to that whole 2nd section. So it goes back to the repeat of the C, regular arpeggio, E 7th. Pinkie is going to come off and back down, A minor. Second, the third string and then the 2nd string. And then C 7th. F, all your melodies right there, and C. Now it's going to go to the second ending. Starts off the same way with a D7th. So right there, same riff. Then just a regular old G. And you can finger that any way that is comfortable for you, because you just really need that first and the sixth strings. Then the pinky scoots over there to the 4th fret to give you that little bluesy note. And then it's going to end on C. And then after that, I give this little riff. It's just a cross string fingering little harp riff. And you can wait until later to do that. That really should be further in the chorus, but it was so cool on the end of the song. I just tacked it on the end of the song. So something that is so typical of Chet with these harp-like sounds. It's caused by the notes ringing over each other. So you put down 2 of the notes of the scale down at the same time. So in this case, it's the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and the pinky then is going to grab the 2nd string way over there on the 6th fret, and you just hold them down like they're a chord and play the 2 notes. And then you let go of it in time to play the open string, which gives you time to change over to this next chord. You really think of this chord as the next 2 notes. This 2nd string, that same fret, 3rd fret, and then the 5th fret of the following string, the 3rd string. Play those 2 notes, and then the 2nd string open gives you time to scoot that little figure down 1 fret and over 1 set of strings. And you play those 2 as like a chord. So that's the 2nd fret, 4th fret on the next lower set of strings, then 3rd string open, and just end on a C note and a C chord. All right, let's do just that second ending, starting with a D7th, and then we're going to do that riff really, really slow, okay? So we've got D7th, 3, 4, G, pinky way up there, C, and then grab this riff. Those 2 strings together, play those, and then 1st string open, play this next 2, 2nd string open, this next little figure, those 2, 3rd string open. That's it. Okay, that's it. That's Don't You Know.